Good afternoon or evening at this point. Working on the project here. I did have a little bit of technical issues. I should have made sure my technology was better prepared, so I do apologize about that. So I've got about 10-ish minutes left on the quiz. I'm going to go ahead and go through this and then see what I can get done. I apologize again for not being prepared properly. Okay, this is not an error. You are getting similar questions to the ones you did in your draft version. Embracing the fear of the unknown is an important part of preparing for the job interviews. The good news is that you have been well practiced in answering these questions now. Do not share these questions with others. Good luck. And you're going to please answer the following questions. Describe your core components of virtual machine and explain how you would leverage virtualization technology in a business setting. So, virtual machine is literally just going to be a physical machine online. So it's got the CPU, it's got the RAM, it's got everything you need. It's just virtual. Makes it easier to plug and play. Makes it easier to be able to use at different computers, physical computers, because it can be virtually accessed at any work computer that you've set up in your system. Then how do you leverage virtualization technology in a business setting? I went ahead and had a previous project in a previous class where I was helping 5 stars attraction, parks and attractions, with getting either staying with a physical service with a bed or going to digital service with Zerchers. And with Zerchers, I was trying to convince them to go to these cloud-based services. They had dashboards available. They had the VMs available. You could put the servers on there. You could put the computers on there. They would help them with their arcade games latency issues, which was critical for them. They were losing a lot of business because the card would not slide and process fast enough. They want to try to get under 1 second. And cloud-based virtualization helps with that. It's a lot faster and it's easier to expand the company. You can go ahead and create virtual servers quite quickly. And you don't have to drive several hours to go to Oklahoma to fix a server that broke down. Or go to a new company, buy them, and buy their 10-year-old server that has all these different problems. You're not inheriting additional issues. Now, it is a bigger upfront cost for sure, but it brings so much more availability. So virtualization really helped them, and they did decide to go with it after my cloud proposal. It did help them be able to grow and develop more opportunities. It's only been 3 months because this is the last class, so a few weeks has passed, but it has went well so far. I'm just really, really happy about that. It makes me feel good that I was able to help them. Server roles and features are critical for defining a server functionality. Describe a difference between a server role and a service feature. How do you determine which roles and features a server needs? So server role is the largest function of the job or the big function of the job. It's the active domain services. It's the server itself, file servers, and DCHP server are in there. I'm not super familiar of which one's which. To be completely honest, I know with the Active Directory services that is what we've been using this whole time. It's where you can create your group policies, which is going to be the server feature is a group director policy and different things that are in the Hyper-V or different programs like that. It has the Windows backup and BitLocker, which I'm familiar with my father recently passing. I've been trying to get into his BitLocker, but that's a different point, and I apologize. So, what determines which roles and features a server needs? It depends on the company. The company might want more security. Something 5 stars Park and Attraction was very much into. They wanted that security to protect them, as a competitor of theirs lost with the ransomware. They lost most of their company, and it was just a huge hit, losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, and really hard for them to recoup from that. And they didn't want to have that same situation, so security was extremely important to them to have that completed and done. I got the 5-minute warning, so I'm going to try to hurry this up a little bit. Domains are a fundamental component of a company's infrastructure. Explain a primary purpose of an Active Directory and how it facilitates users and resource management within a domain. Give an example of a common task you can perform using the directory, the Active Directory. Excuse me. So the Active Directory is where we're creating our VMs. It's where we can get the passwords put in, reset accounts created, permissions put in, apply group policies, set up files, printers, and so on, like that. I do horrible with interviews. I don't feel prepared, so I apologize for this. But I think the one I would use is creating an employee account. You need to go through, in order to create an employee account, you need to know what accesses they need to have, what's their department they're going to be working for, what files will they need, password protections, so they have to have what you want them to have access to, what they can't have access to, and what they shouldn't have access to. Creating how long a password should be changed, making sure you have some unity or unification between all the company and that process is there. It's that's what the Active Directory would be used the most by me, at least, with jobs I'm hoping to get in the future. I know in interviews you have opportunities sometimes to ask questions, and I have about 2 minutes left, so I do want to ask you a question. How do you gain confidence in something that you're taking 7 weeks to try to complete a class? It's really rushed. You got a full-time job and family and church and this. How do you build confidence that you can do these things? I know praying and I know trying, but the confidence is something I need to work on. So if you're able to answer it, I greatly appreciate it. I thank you for this opportunity. I didn't do amazing with the interview, but I tried my best. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.